A very good morning to all the dignitaries and participants who have signed in from various places, staying home, staying safe during these hard times, and yet present here with profound interest to gain knowledge from this webinar on entrepreneurial opportunities in machine learning and big data analysis. I would like to invite Mrs. Chitra Evangeline Christina Ma'am, Assistant Professor of EC Department, to commence the program with a prayer.
Prayer. Let's all bow down our head for prayer. Our loving Heavenly Father, Lord Jesus Christ, we thank you for this moment you have graciously given to us to look to your face, Lord. As your words say, seek ye first the kingdom of God. We seek first your face before the start of this webinar. Bless this event and also the speaker, Mr. Sundrapandian Sir, Director of Tandem Certification Center. We also commit the organizers of all and all the activities of this webinar in your mighty hands. Broaden our knowledge and deepen our understanding of what we are about to hear. We ask all these things in the most precious name of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. Amen.
Thank you, ma'am. I would like to now invite Mrs. J. Friska, ma'am, Head of the Department of ECE, to deliver the welcome address.
Hello everyone and welcome to today's session on entrepreneurial opportunities through machine learning and data analysis by Mr. S. Sundarapandian, Director, Tandem Certification Center, Tirunelveli. I consider it a unique privilege to deliver the welcome address in this greatest gathering. On behalf of our management, FX Entrepreneurship Development Cell, the entire teaching fraternity of Francis Xavier Engineering College, Department of ECE, I would like to extend a very warm welcome to all the delegates who have joined with us today. First of all, I would like to record my heartfelt thanks to Lord Almighty for His showers of blessings on each of us in this COVID-19 situation. I would like to place my sincere gratitude to the management of Francis Xavier Engineering College for motivating us and behind us in all steps towards achieving excellence. It gives me immense pleasure in welcoming the speaker of today's event, Mr. S. Sundarapandian Sir, Director, Tandem Certification Center, Tirunelveli, who has accepted our invitation amidst his busy schedule and joined with us to share his practical experiences and expertise with us. We welcome you, sir. I feel extremely delighted in welcoming Dr. Lourdes Bubala Rayan, sir, Director, Entrepreneurship Development Cell and President of Institution Innovation Council, a dynamic and highly experienced person, for giving us an opportunity to organize this event. We welcome you, sir. Next, I would like to welcome the captain of our ship, Dr. V. Velmurugan sir, Principal, Francis Xavier Engineering College, who is a constant source of motivation to us. We welcome you, sir. I would like to welcome the coordinators of today's event, Mrs. Niranjana Madam, Mrs. Chitra Madam, Mrs. Francie Madam, Assistant Professor, Department of ECE, for their tireless effort in connecting an eminent entrepreneur with us. We would like to welcome all the participants who have joined with us across the state and across the globe to get practical insights. We wish all the participants a great session ahead. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Now I would like to invite Mrs. Francie Hriday Rani, ma'am, Assistant Professor of EC Department, to introduce the resource person.
Good morning, dignitaries and the participants. As a member coordinator of this webinar, I feel proud to introduce our chief guest, Mr. S. Sundarapandian, Director, Tandem Certification Center, Tirunelveli. He did his BTech from Madras Institute of Technology, Chennai, and the Master of Business Administration from Sikkim Manipal University. He has more than 20 years of experience in software training. He worked as a graduate engineering training at Samtel India Limited from 1996 to 97. He worked as a sales engineer at the Branson Ultrasonics, New Delhi from 1998 to 99. He worked as an executive engineer for web designing in marketing as Ushatech during the year 1999 to 2001. He is acting as a director for Tandem Infotech Private Limited, Madurai from 2001 to till date. And he is a corporate trainer for Tandem Certification Center, Tirunelveli from 2006 to till date. Undoubtedly, he is an expert in handling variety of techniques which includes big data, Python, machine learning, Java, software testing, etc. Also, he created many articles and blogs. So, with his experience, he trained many companies all over India. Some highlighted IT companies trained by him are Polaris, Hexaware Technologies, L&T Infotech, SanDisk, AstraZeneca, and Capgemini. He gave many guest lectures and invited talks in seminars and workshops at various universities like Mysore University, Gandhigram University, Anna University, and also affiliated colleges of various universities all over India. So, having this wonderful personality as our chief guest for this webinar is a real gift for us. So, my sincere thanks to him. Thank you all for this opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Now I cordially invite our dynamic resource person, Mr. Sundarapandian sir, to begin his session.
Good morning, students, friends, faculty members, and distinguished guests present for the days. So, I am Sundarapandian. I'm a corporate trainer for IT companies. Today, I'm going to give an overview of what is machine learning, what is big data, and how do you do big data analysis, which is one of the most wanted domain in the current scenario, and how do you get a chance to become an entrepreneur in machine learning as well as big data areas. So before we start, I'll give an overview about what is big data. Till now, we were using small data like maybe MB, GB. With the explosion of Facebook's, Twitter's, the volume of data is growing in a big way. Like we deal with terabytes, zettabytes, petabytes. So when I mean by the word big data or the term big data, it's a high volume, high velocity, and high variety information assets that demand cost-effective, innovative forms of information processing for enhanced insight and decision making. Like you are in an era where the volume is huge, speed is huge, you get variety of data sets. To analyze them, we have a term called big data. So earlier we had data of structured formats like tables. So we have very good tools like Oracle, MySQL, where you can work with tables very easily. But with the growth of Facebook's, Twitter's, in the internet, the data, apart from structured, we have semi-structured data, we have unstructured data. So when I mean by structured data, data which is represented in a table form. When I mean by a semi-structured data, data which does not have a formal data model, like your XML files. We have one more type called unstructured data. So the most of the data from internet, they'll be unstructured. They'll be like a text files or a CSV files. So data which do not have a predefined data model are called as unstructured data. So big data plays a major role in analysis of unstructured data. So we have very good tools for structured data, but we need a concept or technology which should be able to analyze structured data, unstructured data, semi-structured data. Coming to the important features or characteristics of data, Big data operates on 5 V's: volume, velocity, variety, value, veracity. When I mean by volume, huge size. I told you maybe gigabyte, terabytes, petabytes, exabytes. When I mean by velocity, speed of transactions, speed of data flow. Third one is variety. I told you data can be structured, unstructured, semi-structured. So what type of data you're going to analyze? So initially big data had only 3 V's: volume, velocity, and variety. Now they have added 2 more V's. One is called value, second is called veracity. I told you most of your data are from internet. So when you want to analyze a big data, you have to first ensure, is this data worth enough to analyze? That's called value. We have a term called veracity. Most of your data in internet can be trusted. Some of them cannot be trusted also. So you have to analyze, is this data trustworthy? Is this data genuine? So first you analyze that and go for the analysis. That's called veracity. So now we have 5 V's: volume, velocity, variety, value, veracity. Let's talk about some of the sources where big data are used. The concept is very simple. Wherever the volume is huge, wherever the data size is huge, you can go for big data. I give some examples like weblogs. When you do a project for web-based companies and all, like we might get errors. Like we'll get error reports like warnings, informations like that, criticals, failures and all. So we can analyze that type of data, weblogs, sensors, social media, internet. It plays a major role in big data. Internet text, documents, internet pages, search indexes, atmospheric science, astronomy, biochemical, medical records, scientific research, military surveillances. You can analyze like the opponent has how many number of machines, how many weapons they have, photographic archives. So wherever there's a huge volume of data, you can go for big data. I've given some examples: automobiles, communications, consumer. For example, like you want to analyze feedback about a shopping mall, you can do. Financial services, predictions like will the share market go up or down. Education, this is it's a very good area for people who are into researchers. Like I'll be giving an example now. COVID, you can work out. You can take a data set of COVID-19. You can analyze high technology, life sciences, media, online services, healthcare. Healthcare, it's again a major domain for big data. Like if you want to analyze number of patients, incoming, outgoing, with huge amounts of data, we can do that. Oil, gas, retail, travel and transportation, utilities, law enforcement and defense. So these are the areas where big data can be used frequently. What are the major needs for big data? Say like 2-3 years before, the volume of data was very small. and mostly it was only in structured formats. The last 1 or 2 years, we started getting more of structured data, unstructured data, and semi-structured data. 90% of the data in the world today has been created in the last 2 years. Like I said, the volume can be terabytes, zettabytes, petabytes. Earlier, we had only 20% of data analysis which were structured. So we were not analyzing the balance 80%. So the balance 80% can be unstructured data, like text files, CSV files. So 80% data is unstructured or exists in widely varying structures which are difficult to analyze. So we have very good tools for structured data, but we are not having good tools for analyzing unstructured data and semi-structured data. With the invent of technology called big data, we have many tools, like we have Hadoop, which plays a major role in analysis. We have new age programming languages like Python, R. They play a major role in analysis. Also, structured formats have some limitations with respect to the volume of data handling. As the volume grows, they find to handle data with good speed. So that's reason people even start shifting to big data or even structured data wherever the volume is huge. It is difficult to integrate information distributed across multiple systems. You might have different systems. You want to integrate them, it will be tedious. Most business users do not know what should be analyzed. Like I said, I gave an example of Weblog. 5 years before that, we used to analyze weblogs. We felt this file has no meaning. We'll just throw it off. But even these files, they have meaning. So now people take these files, analyze through big data. So what are the career opportunities in terms of big data? As a third-year students, as a final-year students, your prime focus will be on careers, correct? Big data is one of the hot emerging job opportunities in the current technology markets. Once you do a big data course, you can work as a data scientist. You can work as a data science professional. You can work as data analyst. You can join as big data developers. You can join as Hadoop developers. So you have a wide range of opportunities, especially in terms of job prospects. Apart from the looking for job scopes, so most of you we prefer getting placed through campuses. So so once you do a good course of big data from good institutes, you get a lot of chance for getting placed through campuses. Many of you may not be able to get through campus also. I hope all of you get placed in the campuses with very good companies. Some people, they prefer, okay, I am a person who want to start my own company. I want to spend more time on business, especially towards big data. So big data gives you a lot of opportunity to become an entrepreneur. I've seen many companies, startup companies, venturing into big data. So if you are planning for a career towards entrepreneurship, big data is a very good choice. You have a lot of opportunities. Just while doing your third year or fourth year engineering degree or your graduates, whatever it is, parallelly try to do some programs based on big data. It can be a big data program, can be a data science programs. There are many colleges, many institutes offering these programs. You can do it through online also parallelly. So many startup companies are entering into big data. To start your career into big data, do any course in big data. Choice is yours. You can choose data science, where we use tools like Pig, Hive, R. We have option for data analyst. You can use Python, R there. If you want to go for a big data course in developer angle, you can choose Java-based Hadoop environment. So you can have a great chance of starting your own company in future after developing your own skills. So what you can do is, like once you get a job in big data, work with the company for 1 year, 2 years, get the basics and complete ideas of big data. But by 2 or 3 years, you can start your own companies. Companies which are using big data, as of now, most of the companies they use big data. It can be CTS, it can be Infosys, it can be Wipro, Tiger Analytics, Capgemini, Spoonshoot, Zenright, Pentation Analytics, lots of companies. If you Google, like startup companies in big data, you get lots of companies. Companies like Tiger Analytics and all, they look for data science career in a big way. So now what I'll do is, I will just give a demo of COVID-19 analysis. Normally for analysis of big data, we can use languages like R, Python. So I'll give a simple demo for R as well as simple demo on Python. Let's start with R. R is one of the easiest languages to learn. It has lots of options, like we can visually present data sets. So I'll just show you a data set. This is a data set of COVID-19, which I have taken from the Indian website. So first thing is, you have to load this data set. Give a name, like for example, I put COVID-1. Load, the command is read.csv. Mine is in D drive, so I'll open from D drive. My file name is COVID_19 India .csv. So it's loaded now. Let's check now. COVID-1. Can you see here? It has 32490 rows. 32440 rows. Can you see here? Can you see? Serial number, date wise, time with state wise, like Kerala, you can see here. Telangana, Delhi, Tamil Nadu, etc. So I've taken up to 12th of March. You can see here, confirmed Indian national, confirmed foreign national, current deaths confirmed. We have a command called summary. If we give a summary of COVID-19, let's COVID-1, okay? See here, you can see here. Minimum, max, time, state wise, you can see here. 146, Kerala 146, Karnataka, Delhi 114, like that. Complete analysis of death also. If you want to get only first 5 data, I can use it. I can see here. Can you see? Date, time. If you want last 6, let's see last 6. Let's separately analyze one by one. Let's take date alone. You can see here, date wise. You see summary of date wise. So this date 72, this date 37, July 1st, like this. State wise, let's see. Can you see? Andaman Nicobar 90, Andhra Pradesh 104. Let's look for Tamil Nadu. See here. So this is the way we predict, we analyze data sets. First thing is you have to load the particular data sets using tools like R. Number of rows and columns, dimension. The best part here is you can plot data. So I'm using the command plot. Just wait, it's loading now. Can you see? Graphically, it's presenting now. Date, time. You can get step by step like this analysis. So first thing is you have to load the data set. So for that, the command is this one. Read.csv. Give a variable name like COVID when I gave. So it will be loaded. There are a lot of websites to get data sets. I can, if you want to get data sets for your projects, just type here UCI data sets. You can see here. Just click this one. You can see loads of data sets you can see here. From A to Z. So if you want to get COVID data set, just put COVID-19 India data set. So we have different official sites. This is WHO official site. This is Indian official website. You can see here. State-wise is here. So you can take these data sets, you can analyze. So first you have to save this data set as CSV file. Okay. So this is the way we do big data analysis using tools like R. This tool actually they have their own inbuilt data sets. For example, they have a tool called data sets called Iris. You can see here. See, based on, I think, biological information like sepal length and all. Now just put a lot of iris. You can see, you can plot. See here. If you want to get box plot, you can do this box plot. Like histogram. So this is one of the visually presenting tool. So using tool, you can analyze data sets graphically. It's mainly used for statistical analysis, like statistics analysis. So in future, if you're planning for big data based projects, you can use R. So I said, if you want to plan for a COVID-19 analysis, this tool is very easy to work. I'll show you one more analysis with Python also. So we can also use Python for analysis. So in Python, we have to import the CSV file. So I'm just importing the file. I would open my file name. It will be COVID-19_India.csv. So let's look for the column names. Let's try with people cured. As per date. You see, it's a big data, huge volumes of data. How fast it is. Even if it is 1 lakh, 2 lakhs, 3 lakhs, no, it will be very fast. You can see here. Number of people, date wise. So you can use tools like Python or HivePick to analyze big data. It's very simple concepts. Coming to the next topic, let's focus on machine learning. Machine learning and big data, to the maximum, they work together. They are, part and parcel of each other. Machine learning is a field of study that gives computers the ability to implement data analysis prediction. So, what are our prime criteria in big data? Data analysis, prediction. Same in machine learning. We are going to predict, like for example, normally what happens in December in Chennai and all, there'll be huge floods, like cyclone. We can predict, we can use various algorithms to predict, okay, what will happen in the current December 2020? When will this COVID-19 end? What are the possibilities? Will it will grow up or come down? We can predict, we can analyze through machine learning. With the evolution of big data, machine learning has become very vital in the field of computers. So I told you, machine learning was there 10 years before, 20 years before, 30 years before, but it has become very popular now because of big data. So that's the reason I use the word machine analysis, machine learning, and big data analysis because they work together. So like I said, languages used for analysis of big data or machine learning, you can use Python, R, Java. I just gave a small demo of R and Python for you. Machine learning is a method of data analysis that automates analytical model building. It's a branch of artificial intelligence based on the idea that systems can learn from data, identify patterns, and make decisions with minimal human intervention. The concept of machine learning is very simple. They are trying to use computers as much as possible without the involvement of human beings. Like when the computers, like in March or April, it was in huge, it was going in a steep track. Most of the hospitals were using robotics to clean the floors. That's the best example of machine learning. Machine learning is defined as a field of study that gives computers the ability to learn without being explicitly programmed. Normally, we use mostly programmings. Without using the programmings also, we can analyze. Let's discuss about the evolution of machine learning. Because of new computing technologies, machine learning today is not like machine learning of the past. It has born from pattern recognition analysis, phase analysis. It has born from pattern recognition and the theory that computers learn without being programmed to perform specific tasks. Researchers interested in AI, artificial intelligence, wanted to see if computers could learn from data. The iterative aspect of machine learning is important because as models are exposed to new data, they are able to independently adapt. They learn from previous computations to produce reliable, repeatable decisions and results. It's a science that's not new, but one that has gained fresh momentum. Like I said, machine learning was there for many years. Now it is getting more momentum because of the explosion of big data. Where we, the machine learning concepts, we focus mainly on the AI part, artificial intelligence parts, face recognitions. With many machine learning algorithms have been around for a long time. The ability to automatically apply complex mathematical calculations to big data over and over, faster and faster is a recent development. So I told you, in big data, the major criteria is what? Speed. We have to deal with high volume, high velocity, high variety data. Correct? So speed is a major criteria there. In that aspect, machine learning algorithms, they help you to predict data faster. While artificial intelligence is the broad science of mimicking human abilities, machine learning is a specific subset of artificial intelligence that trains a machine how to learn. Correct? So how do you do a machine learning algorithm or a process? In machine learning, a target is called a label. First, you have to design the target. It's called as a label. So in machine learning, a target is called a label. In statistics, a target is called a dependent variable. A variable in statistics is called a feature in machine learning. The target is called label. variable is called features in machine learning. So in transformation in statistics is called features creations in machine learning. So this machine learning, we work based on the labels concepts and features concepts. We have two types of machine learnings. Two of the most widely adapted machine learning methods are supervised learning and unsupervised learnings. So we have two types. One is supervised learning and unsupervised learning. Coming to the supervised learning. In supervised learning, we start with a set of features called as vector label pairs. So we work on labels here. So in supervised learning, we start with the feature, vector and label pairs. The goal is to derive from this example a rule that predicts the label associated with the previously unseen feature vectors. So we have to create labels here. I give a simple example now. For example, given the sets A and B, a learning algorithm might infer that all the tall presidents should be labeled as A. Assume I have multiple presidents category. I have short presidents, I have tall presidents. I want to categorize them as short or tall. I can label them. For example, I had labeled all tall presidents as A, all short presidents as B. I'll give an example here. Thomas Jefferson, American president, 189 centimeter. Obviously, it will be tall. Suppose you have some X with 150 centimeter. He comes under tall, short. So people who are coming under tall category, they'll be chosen as label A. People who come under short category, they'll be chosen under label B. So this is the way machine learning algorithms based on supervised learning works. So you have to first create labels and categorize. Supervised learning algorithms are trained using labeled examples such as input where the desired output is known. You give the input, you know the output exactly. For example, a piece of equipment could have data points labeled like failure, running. So F is failed, R is running. The learning algorithm receives a set of inputs along with the corresponding correct outputs. And the algorithm learns by comparing its actual output with correct outputs to find errors. It then modifies the model accordingly as per the needs. Through methods like, we have different methods like classification, regression, prediction, and grading boosting. Supervised learning uses patterns to predict the values on the label. Like I said, label A, label B. Supervised learning uses patterns to predict the values of the label on additional unlabeled data. Supervised learning is commonly used in applications where historical data predicts like future events. You can predict, I said, you can predict when will this COVID-19 end. What is the maximum possible of extension? What is the possible temperature, maximum temperature, like that. Supervised learning is normally used in applications where historical data predicts likely future events. So the best part of big data and machine learning are prediction algorithms. So like we have to predict what will happen in the future. What will be the temperature? What will be the rainfall in December in Chennai? What will be the maximum extension of COVID-19. When it will come down, when it will slow down, you can predict using these algorithms. I give one example here. For example, you can anticipate when credit card transactions are likely to be fraudulent. You know, everybody knows the current scenario, frauds are happening a lot, especially with credit cards. So we can predict which instance customer is likely to file a claim. So once you detect a fault, fraud, credit card deductions, you can file a case. In that, machine learning plays a major role. I've given some examples for use cases of supervised learning. Like I said, fraudulent of credit cards, recommendations of best movies to watch. Like like there are many movies coming every month. You can predict, you can analyze which movie is the best one. This big data and machine learning, they play a major role in analysis. For example, like you can analyze YouTube videos, which movie is rating number one, which post is getting more views. We can predict, we can analyze the list of airports. For example, I want to find the best top 10 airports in India. I can predict, I can analyze. So once I get the list of all 10 top 10 airports, we can spend, the government can spend more money on improving more infrastructure to these airports, where they get more revenue. Customer feedbacks. Colleges, you can do projects. Like for example, you can analyze data sets. Can be a biological data sets, can be a science, mathematical data sets. You can take that, you can analyze. Healthcare. We have one more type called unsupervised learning. In supervised learning, we use labels. Whereas in unsupervised learning, we don't use labels. Here, we are given a set of features, feature vectors, but no labels. The goal of unsupervised learning is to uncover latent structure, the set of feature vectors. I give an example here. For example, given a set of presential feature vectors, an unsupervised learning algorithm might separate the presence into tall and short, or perhaps into Americans, Indians, like that. Clear? Coming to the use cases of unsupervised learning, it's mostly used in clustering concepts. Used in finding clusters of similar features, similar feature vectors. We can use clustering to find groups of related genes. Cluster means like nothing but groups of categories. So you find out which categories come under the same gene, like that. We have many clusters, like we have k-means clustering and all. That has that plays a major role in machine learning. So what you should do is look for the algorithms. There are many algorithms available in machine learning parts. Learn the algorithms and try to use concepts like big data and machine learning concepts using different languages like R, Python, and you can master the concepts. Like I said, big data and machine learning, they give you a lot of opportunities, especially in terms of job prospects. If you want to earn, if you want to start your own company, you can become an entrepreneur with the options of machine learning and big data. There are lots of companies supporting you also. You can also get trained in various courses, work for a company for 2-3 years, get master in the field. Some of you might have a question like, we are from different background. We are from ECE, we are from EEE. We don't have more programming knowledges. Tools like R, Python, they're very simple. Even non-IT can learn with these. I just gave you, it was hardly 2-3 lines. Any department, maybe in electronics, can be even a computer science, it can be a mechanical department, ECE, triple E, any background. You can choose a choice of yours, take any programming language or Python. We have tools like Hive, Pig. They are very simple to work. Master them, then you can start doing projects. Maybe even you can try for your final year projects. Like I said, take a COVID-19 data set, analyze with the different tools. Unsupervised learning is used against data that has no historical labels. System is not told the right answer. The algorithm might figure out what is being shown. The goal is to explore the data and find some structure within. Unsupervised learning works well on transactional data. For example, it can identify segments of customers with similar attributes who can then be treated similarly in marketing campaigns. Or it can find the main attributes that separate customer segments from each other. Popular technique includes self-organizing maps, nearest neighbor mapping, K-means clustering, I told you, singular value decomposition. These are the algorithms widely used in machine learning. These algorithms are also used to segment text topics, recommend items, and identify data outliers. So you choose an algorithm, understand the algorithm first. Choose your own language. Can be a R, can be a Python. Then analyze. So these tools are very easy to work. And with the support of internet, you get a lot of open source supports them. Best part of big data tools are, most of the tools are open source tools. So anybody can download from internet. You can work easily. Big data and machine learning, they parallelly work together. So initially you start with big data, then learn more concepts on machine learning, and you can start working together. Like I said, the opportunities for big data is huge. I just show see here, just Google here. If you want to find what are the top startup companies for big data, you can see here. Actify Data Labs, Amblogo Labs, Atlan, Tiger Analytics is a very good company which gives you lots of opportunities to work for big data machine learning areas. So they are into, I think, you can see here, marketing analytics, customer analytics, operational planning, risk analytics. So they are into data science. As you can see here, predictive analysis, forecasting, machine learning, test analytics, NLP. So you have a lot of opportunities to Google. Google the keywords what you want, and you get a lot of chance for understanding the concepts. So, like I told you there are a lot of languages for learning big data. If you want to master big data with machine learning, you can go for Python. So Python is the most popular language for machine learning. You can use R, you can use Python. Python is mainly meant for machine learning. If you want to go for big data developing angle, you can choose Java track also. So, like, I'm sharing my contact numbers in case if you want any help from my side in terms of big data queries, machine learning queries, especially to guide you for your final year projects. I'm sharing my numbers. You can just watch here and you can call me whenever required. So, like I said, you have a lot of opportunity in big data and machine learning. You can look for good careers if you want to work in topmost MNCs. Big data, machine learning, they are widely looked into. As soon as if you want to start your own company, many people would dream that I want to be my own master. I want to venture into entrepreneurship. These big data, machine learning play a major role. So I wish you all the best for your future. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, sir. That was a very amazing session which covered the topic from a 360-degree angle. Thank you for spending your valuable time with us, sir. Thank you. I invite Mrs. Chitra Evangeline Christina ma'am to propose a vote of thanks.
Good afternoon, one and all, who have attended the webinar Entrepreneurial Opportunities through Machine Learning and Big Data Analysis. At the end of the program, I thank Lord Almighty for helping us to conduct this webinar in a successful way. I thank the speaker, Mr. Sundarapandian, Director, Tandem Certification Center, Tirunelveli, for sharing his valuable knowledge and time. Thank you, sir. It's my pleasure to thank the management for giving us the push and the provisions for organizing this webinar. I also thank Dr. Lourdes Pubala sir, Director, Entrepreneur Development Cell, for his guidance towards organizing this webinar. I feel happy to thank Mrs. Friska, HOD of ECE Department, for her support and motivation. Thank you, ma'am. I also thank the coordinators, Francie ma'am, Niranjana ma'am, Chitra ma'am, and all the staff members of ECE Department for their contribution. Thank you, team. Last but not the least, I thank all the participants for being a part of this session. Without you all, the event wouldn't be a success. Thank you, one and all. Once again, thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Participants, the feedback link will be posted in the chat box. Kindly fill it and send. You can mail your queries to the email ID, which will also be posted in the chat box. You will be provided an e-certificate for your participation. Thank you all.